Did you know that I almost always brush my teeth before doing these videos? It's like, yeah, so welcome back to YouTube Tuesdays, even though it's Wednesday. There's no schedule, man. I just do them whenever I feel like it. So how do you start an outdoors YouTube channel with cheap gear? Let me tell you a quick story. I was at the boat dock the other day on a fishing trip, actually getting some footage for the film Sugarfly. There's a guy there, parked close to the dock and whatnot, and turns out the fella had had some surgery and was having a hard time getting around, whatever. And he asked me, did I have a YouTube channel? And I said, yeah. And I finally got into the habit of keeping some cards with me. If you're gonna start a YouTube channel, get you some business cards, because people are gonna ask you when they see you on the water with a camera, do you have a YouTube channel? Oh, there we go. And you say yes, and you just can hand them a card, And we struck up a conversation, very interesting conversation. And the fella mentioned that he had something like 7 GoPro cameras, the cheap ones, the cheap Chinese ones, the knockoff ones. And then he started telling me about some of the things he likes to do, like he does a lot of bow fishing, and he does bow fishing with an actual slingshot. And I'm thinking, dude, he talks about he was, a diesel mechanic. Talks about how he just, I guess I don't know if he just got hurt or something and then had to have back surgery, couldn't work and all, but people in his family build race cars and stuff. And I'm like, you got this vast life experience that you can share and teach the world. And you actually have way more cameras than I do. I only have one camera, this little GH4. I mean, you don't have to have fancy gear. You don't have to have your cell phone. You have everything you need to get started in your own outdoors channel. And I really don't think people believe that. Because I think what happens is they see people like me, you see someone like me, you see I have a GH4, I got this big rig, and they think that's what they have to have. But they don't actually see what it was like when I first got started. When I first got started, all I had was a hat cam. I hated that camera, but that's all I had, and I had something to share and teach. And then I got Nikon D3300, then I sold that, and I have the GH4 now. And then I started buying classic lenses. I got a new preamp, and then I got the recorder, got this microphone, and it's fleshed out this over time. Over time, you'll get better gear, but if getting better gear is what's stopping you from getting started, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. When you look at the number of videos being uploaded to YouTube right now, every day you wait, you're just a day further behind. It's only going to get more competitive from here. And if you have even a cell phone, you need to get started now. I think the thing is people don't necessarily know how or whatever, and they're just sort of nervous or scared about the technology. But the reality is the cell phones that they're using has all the technology they needed to get started. I think the boys from Meridian Naval Air Station got a new class of student pilots. It's kind of cool to see those T-6s buzzing you overhead on the river. They always come buzzing. I'm thinking they're practicing the Death Star trench run, if you ask me. But I never quite understood why people doubt their own abilities or doubt. I think people they're trained to just. It's like in school, they beat the individuality out of you. They just beat it out of you, and you're just a cog in a wheel, and you're just meant to do what everybody else is doing, and you're nothing special, which is not the case. I mean, me being a man of faith, I believe that, God is an individual, and He made us as individuals. Although we collectively are the human race, we all have a different part to play. And when you don't take the things that you've learned and experienced over the years and share them, then you don't actually contribute to changing people's minds out there. And I think that's a travesty. That mind is a terrible thing to waste. Well, your whole life is a terrible thing to waste, not just your mind. The technology that's available today, this camera that I'm shooting on right now, if this were 1960, I've said this before, but if this were 1960, you would have to have like a school bus and a U-Haul truck full of equipment to do what this camera right here can do today. Not only that, but once you got the footage, you'd have to send the footage off to a laboratory to develop it because it was on film. And that laboratory is as big as a house. You have all that in a simple cell phone. The fact that I have more processing power available to me than they did to go to the moon, like orders of magnitude more processing power. And all that has been made so that a single person can go out and do what you had to have a whole film crew. I mean, this camera, the preamps handling the sound, the lenses are doing what they've always done. The processors in the camera are processing the image, and that's sending it to a special recorder that's capturing the image in a really high quality Kodak. The truth be told is you can do all that with your cell phone. One book. Check out this book called How to Shoot Video That Doesn't Suck. If you're serious about starting your own outdoors YouTube channel, start with that book. I know a lot of people think that their videos are going to be cringe-worthy. Well, they probably will be, but it's a craft and a skill that you have to learn. The thing is, you already have the language of motion picture in your brain. You just need to learn the terms. It's just the chapters are very short. He had an actual cartoon artist or illustrator actually draw out the points he's talking about, and you can just take a few of those things and will make your videos way better than most of the videos you actually see on YouTube. I'm gonna see if I can't find it, put a link. He actually has a video of him using his cell phone to shoot a very compelling video. I think it was of his daughter doing some artwork or something, showing this basic technique in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, what you can do with a simple cell phone. Marlboro Man. So what do you do, right? I mean, how do you there's this astronaut guy, I can't remember his name, I think it's Dr. Wheeler, I have to check that. He said something like, it's one thing to sit here and fantasize, right? It's one thing to sit here and fantasize, it's another one to, but when the nuts have to fit the bolts, you're talking about something completely different. Am I in focus? I'm just hoping I'm in focus. Yeah, probably am. Whatever camera you have, that's what you start with. If you have GoPros, use GoPros. If you have a cell phone, use a cell phone. The second thing you do is buy a book called How to Shoot Video That Doesn't Suck. Third, you will get the tool, Tubebuddy, that you've heard me talk about so much and so often. That's the secret weapon, And fourth, you got to have a strong reason to do this. And I think another part of it is that people are just they're not self-starters. They won't do anything unless someone tells them what to do. And if that's you, I don't know what to tell you. I've always been someone who I'm just going to go do. I don't have time to wait for somebody to tell me what to do, because most of the time I don't trust the people who are telling me what to do. So I just go do it on my own anyway. So I can't really help you there, but what I can help you with is that, look, you got to develop a strong enough reason to do this to get you kicked in the pants to go do it. Like for me, I'm trying to shoot this film Sugarfly, and I've been putting off building this boat, and guess what happened? Well, my current boat has this crack in it, and guess what I got to do now? That's not good. Well, my only choice is to get off my rear end and build that boat. Unless you have that kind of a reason to do YouTube, then you won't. For me, I was in a dead-end, deadbeat day job, and I hated it, and my health was going down, my mental health, my physical health were just collapsing, and I just had to get out. So I started a YouTube channel. It's been 2 years now, so that I quit that day job to do this, what I'm doing full time. There's nothing more motivating than and I'm not saying you should go quit your day job. I'm not saying that. In fact, I would encourage you to keep it. But if you're someone who has a nice day job and there's not much of a reason to do this outside of it is just being another hobby, then you probably won't ever do it, or you won't do it very often, or you won't do it very seriously, or at least not very seriously very often for very long, because there's just not a real strong reason to do this. and you have some skills, some talent, and some things you've learned in life, things you want to pass on, and that old day job has no avenue by which to use the actual skills and talents and things that you've been given to use, well, now you find with YouTube you finally have an outlet. For most people, their day job is nice and comfortable. They get paid well. They have a nice car, a nice house, pretty wife, adorable kids, whatever, and it's just, well, there's no real reason. If you're someone clawing and scraping in a meaningless day job, YouTube does provide the opportunity. I would say the opportunity. It's not a guarantee, but it provides an opportunity that we just haven't seen in even all my years. It's easy to come up with ideas, at least for me. I'm a creative person. But if you have any type of life experience at anything, that's fodder. It's just a matter of packaging it and finding an audience that would watch it and just see where it goes. I can't guarantee you that it's gonna make a living for you. I can't guarantee that it's gonna, that you're gonna live the dream. I can't guarantee that. And anybody who promises you that is probably blowing smoke. The reality is it's difficult, it is hard, but it's worth it because you're gonna learn skills that you didn't have before. And I guarantee you, if I went and got another day job, do you think I'm gonna put frying chicken on my resume? Or is, hey, I built a YouTube channel with nearly 5,000 subscribers, 1.2 million views, and I know how to market, import products from China. I know how to position thumbnails. I know how to search engine optimize. How many companies in the world could use someone with those skills? No matter what it is that they're selling. I don't care if you're just it doesn't matter. If you can tell stories and you can motivate people to buy, what else do you need in a company than somebody who can do that, right? And that's something that's valuable. Think about those things as you're maybe on this journey to starting your YouTube channel. I'm only interested in talking to the maybe 1% of everybody on this channel who's seriously considering starting an outdoors YouTube channel somewhere. Some people will go on to have millions of subscribers. Some people will barely be able to make 1,000. But if you do those things, you'll have a shot. And that's just about sums up, at least strategically, everything I've learned here in these past couple of years on YouTube. See ya.